Hi everyone, welcome to the August release highlights webinar. I hope all can hear once again. If you can please verify that you are all muted during the session, it would be perfect. So the August release is really just around the corner. We are going to have the first installation on the multi-tenant sandbox environment on the coming Sunday, meaning July 23rd. And then 1 week afterward, Total Care customers are going to get it August 6th, multi-tenant production environment, and then the week afterward, on August 16, it's going to be available in the FTP servers for all the on-premise customers, and we are continuing with the roll-up to verify that all the customers will have the latest and greatest release of August. In this release, actually it's a busy one. I'm happy to say that in the last few releases, I always said it in the webinar that it's a busy release, so we are continuing with another busy release. I will start with going over what I call the features parity, which are actually features that were exist in the classic interface and now available with the new UI as well. We passed the 200 live institution with the new interface. So I know that there are some that have been waited for specific feature, for example. So now everything is there. Then I'll discuss and present you the new features that are available now in August, coming either from Ideas Exchange, coming from the general roadmap, sometimes coming from reality forcing us. For example, we'll discuss the email security improvements that we had to add to this version. And last but definitely not least, I'm going to show you really two nice features that are going to improve the experience for the end user. One is the search expansion that's going to give the users expanded and sometimes even better results for topic searches and names, for example. And then we have the resource recommender, which gives the libraries more power to suggest and recommend the users other resources that might not be part of Primo, for example, to suggest them other websites, specific databases, maybe a librarian. So I'll show you all of those. And then I hope we'll have some time, and I'll be happy to also give you some teaser for what is coming next in the November release. So for the new UI features parity, I'll go over the list and then I'll do a demo of all of them together. So we have the multiple facets. It's something that, again, it was in the classic interface. In the classic interface, it was a pop-up that was displayed for specific field. Once you wanted to see more options or to see more values for this specific field, a pop-up would have opened and you can select multiple facets or exclude multiple facets. We thought in the beginning that the usage was very low, but we understood very actually fast that it is a feature that is required and very important for our users. So we are now adding it, I think, in a nicer way without pop-ups, which we are trying to avoid in the UI, and also giving them the option to select values from different fields. Next, we have the personalization. It's mainly interface look and feel changes. We didn't change the behavior of the personalization. For those that are not familiar, the personalized ranking is actually giving the users the option to select their own discipline and then getting a better ranking for their discipline. So they'll get the same number of results, but a different ranking. So let's go and see it. Yep. Okay. Okay. Just a second, excuse me. So let's start with, sorry for the pessimistic search term. I don't know why, but I performed before search for war. And now we're trying with the multiple, I'll start with the multiple facets. We're trying to stay with clear interface as much as we can. So we are continue with the same approach of what we're calling the gradual exposure, meaning we are trying to leave it clean, and only users that it's relevant for them are going to be aware to this functionality. So once users are coming to select a specific facet, then actually they are going to see the other options that are available for them, and in this case, they can see that they can select more than one value. So I can either select different values from the same field, from the same, for example, subject field, and then between them, the Boolean operator, the operator is going to be an or I can select actually field value from different fields, and then an AND operator will be between them. I can apply the filters and perform my search. Perfect example. I'll take the Europe and the French, I'll apply them, and we'll see what is more relevant. And then we have, it wasn't changed, it's the same as before. We have the active filters displayed on the side in order for the user to be aware to the filters that he selected. And in a few more minutes, I'll show you another functionality that is relevant for this area. Next is the personalization. If I'm going to search here for modern art, and I'll perform the search for Primo Central. So I'll perform another search, elderly treatment, for example. Right.
Elderly.
Elderly treatment. Okay. Didn't put it right. And now I have the personalization feature here in front of me. Clicking on it, I'm going to see that I have now the disciplines. We used to have it again also in the classic interface. It was as a pop-up, and here we have it in the same page. Again, the new UI, we're trying to have single page application, so everything is in the same page, trying to avoid from popping windows. And I can select discipline that is relevant for me. This is my discipline. Once I'm clicking on search, I'm going to get the same number of results, but from different journals, for example, they're going to be boost higher. So it's the same result, the retrieval is the same. We're just playing with the boost, with the ranking per the chosen discipline. Another thing that we tried to do with the new interface is just to verify, if we're talking about the usability of the feature, to verify that it's really highlighted and very prominent in front of the users that that he is using now the personalized ranking, in order for him that in case he's searching for something else, he'll be aware to the fact that the ranking might be a bit different and more suitable for the specific discipline. So it's very deep Bordeaux that everyone can see it and won't miss the fact that they are using the personalization feature. Let's continue. We added, again for November coming from the classic interface, we added the RSS feature, which is available which is available for logged in users under the saved searches. So if I'm going, for example, to save a query, if I'll go to my saved searches, you can see that now I have the RSS button here. And as part of it, once I'm clicking it, it's going to create a new URL for me, which presents the data in the RSS format that you can use for any RSS feeder that you'd like to use and see new items for your search query. So this is for the RSS. Now I would like to show you the fourth feature that is now available in the new interface, which is the featured results. I'm now in a Primo Central view, and if I'm going to search for Pablo Picasso, for example, sorry, here, I'm going to search for Pablo Picasso. Then you can see that even though I'm searching for Primo Central, the featured results bar actually allow us to configure another parallel search for specific scope, for example, or specific collection that I would like to search within. So I'm searching for Primo Central. All those are coming from Primo Central Index. But here I have a bar with books that are coming from my local catalog. So this is not a new feature. We're actually leave the configuration as it was before, so you can have a very flexible configuration here where you would like to present it, the featured results, and what data you'd like to present with it. But we just again change a bit the look and feel to make it visible, better on the screen, and even work better and faster here. So this is the feature result. The last feature, I don't have really a demo for it, but I'll explain to you. We added the silent login option to the new interface. Silent login is something that is available again in the Classic, and the idea of it is that besides having SSO, the idea of single sign-on is actually that if user is already signed in another system, he'll be with the same IDP, of course. If he'll click on the sign-in button, then he won't need to re-enter his user and his password. Silent login is taking it one step ahead and actually saying that even if the user is not going to click on the sign-in option, we are going to try behind the scenes, see if he is already logged in, and in case he is logged in, we will change him to be signed in also in Primo. So for customers that already moved to the new interface, we had in the beginning some problems with this silent login configuration. So we asked customers to disable this configuration. So if you'd like to use it now with the new UI, you can, but just remember to enable it again from the authentication manager page, okay? So this was for the interface that are now, features that are now coming from the Classic interface. Now let's go to the new ones. We'll start with the sort in favorites. It's actually a really small one, but really nice one, and I think really nice for the users as well. It's coming from the IDs exchange. It was voted really high in the IDs exchange. Now in the favorites page, both if you are a guest user or signed in user, you can sort by either date added, title, or author. The default is the date added, meaning the default list is once you added the item to your favorites, but then you can sort for title and for author as well. The next feature is the persistent facets, and this I would like to go back to my previous demo. Let's search for my favorite modern art search. If I select now architecture and art, for example, and those are the facets that are relevant. And actually, I'm now writing an essay, or I'm in the process of finding more data, which I need to have it related to architecture and art, and I would like to persist those facets for the other searches that I'm going to perform. I can actually lock those values and say I want those to remain for the whole session. So if I'm now going to search for anything else, I will be able to find postmodernism, for example, it won't help. That's good. you can see that every search that I perform is still with the same active filters, okay? So right now it's retained for the session. We might discuss in the future, because I got some requests whether it can be saved to a user preferences. So we might consider it in the future if it's really relevant to persist specific values to the user once he's logged in. But I'm really not sure about the use case, because definitely not, I guess, for topics, but maybe for others. When we started to discuss the sticky facets, the persistent facets, we thought for which field it should work. But actually, the way we implemented it at the end is really giving the end user the full power to make the right selection for him, what is relevant. And for every value that he's searching for, he can make it persistent. Next thing I would like to discuss is really the email security improvement, talking about reality sometimes force you to do things. So we were facing in the last 2 months is actually spamming that were coming from libraries. We had some not really nice person that tried to promote his ideas and his book. So he used the email functionality in order to send it to unlimited number to thousands of recipients. We didn't have a validation on the number of recipients, and as part of this improvement, we reduced the number of recipients. Guest users can send to only 1 recipient. If you are a signed-in user, you can send to up to 10. We did some more restriction for guest users. We are not allowing them to add notes. And also the subject field is not editable by the end users. It's of course editable by the library. They can change it in the code tables, what the text they would like to display here, but the user can change the subject. And again, we have the captcha for the new UI and the classic interface. Now, to the fun part, I think I really like this new feature that Quality of Search team just releasing now. The idea of the search expansion is actually to allow to expand the query that the user is actually searching for with control vocabulary. They are now visible on the screen. You can see, for example, here the heart attack, this including, I'm not trying to read, the myocardial infarction. Okay, I tried to read it. And the users can actually now get more results that are relevant for him, but actually even learn new important terms for the topic that he is searching for. This is really important and can extend either topics, or it can be for the names of the writers and the authors. And right now we are using, in order to extend the control vocabulary, we are using Mesh, and we are using Library of Congress, the subject heading. We will add more in the future. I will just show you another nice example. Increase the loop. Okay. So here you can see again, I'm in Primo Central. I search for ADHD. I want to dismiss this. And it's actually give notification to the user that it's also including results that contains attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Users that don't want to extend it can actually just search for ADHD here. It is going to be available for everyone and enabled by out of the box. We have plans right now, it's in Primo Central. We do have plans also to add it to local searches in the future. This is just the first release of it, and again, we will extend both the control vocabulary, but also to the local searches as well. There is one configuration for this, which is in the search engine configuration. Just enable and disable this feature by a checkbox over there. You can see it here. This is the checkbox, the use control vocabulary search expansion. The next feature is the resource recommender. The resource recommender is a really great tool for libraries to recommend other resources for the end users. For those of you who are familiar with the best bet or the database recommender from someone, this is actually taking both those features and extending them to a nice option for the library to decide what type of the recommendation they would like to offer and suggest, for example, database, website, maybe a librarian, a libguides, and there is currently a list of 6 different types that the library can recommend. It is right now for specific search terms, meaning it's for exact search. But later on, during 2018, at the beginning, first half of 2018, we do plan to extend it and have a bit, I can say, smarter search that's extending the search and give more recommendations. Now let's go to see my demo here. So this is just really one example. If I'm going to search for, we saw that a lot of the searches in Primo are, for example, for databases. So in the logs, we see that users are searching for JSTOR. And once they're searching for JSTOR, usually what they would like, sorry, someone did test on my example. What the user is actually usually searching for is really to go to the database, so to go to JSTOR itself. So we perform a search, we have a suggested database, I can click on it and go directly to JSTOR. Perform here another example, no one ruined it. If I search for Asia, you can see that we would like to recommend either relevant database, suggested librarian, and also a website. And you can see that once I have more than 3 recommendations, the user will see that they have more recommendations. I can click on it, and then I see the full list of recommendations here overlapping. So the configuration for it is done via the back office. There is a form that can be filled for different resources. And also it can be, you can export and import an Excel file with all the information, the different type of recommendation that you'd like to suggest, and add more of those. We added in the Knowledge Center an initial list for you for suggested databases that you can take, update, and include in your resource recommendation feature. So we are really looking forward to hear any feedback on these features once you are using it. We hope that you'll find it useful, and really any question and feedbacks are more than welcome. So those were the main features that are available in August. There are few more things that I would like to discuss. Sorry, this is, by the way, the database option, but there is a full documentation about how you should use it. Just a few more updates. So first, talking about the new UI, we are keeping in the same approach as always, and every release we are going to present more improvements. In this release, we did more improvement to the brief results page. I think you'll find that after the August release, you'll see that the rendering time of the page is better. We did both changes in the server and in the client, mainly on the brief result page. We keep working on improving our accessibility. We work with both with customers, now also an external company is working in order to provide a report. We are complying with WCAG, with the WCAG 2AA, but we still want to be really more than passing the automatic test. We are testing ourselves usually with NVDA, which is the recommended way to test screen readers, for example. But in this release, we also fixed some issues for JAWS screen readers. So as part of the many other issues that we keep improving for accessibility, you should expect more improvement for JAWS. One small last thing that I just want to mention for those of you, because the working group shared with us the survey about customers that want to go live, and we know that a lot of customers are planning to go live with the new interface after August release, so we are trying to make the life easier, and we saw that out of the 200 customers that are live today, a lot of them really just did minor changes, changed the logo, and went live. So we just added now the logo to be a back office configuration. You can go to the customization manager, upload your logo, and also we had a lot of requests. We added it to be clickable. So you can also add a URL and the logo will direct to this URL. So this is for the August release. I will stop for a second to verify, to see what questions we have. I'll answer those, and then we'll continue for a short teaser for November. How does the silent login work with parallel login? If I'm not wrong, it's going to the first login option that is configurable. If it's not, if it's failed to log in there, then the user will need to click on the login and then to see the two options. Sorry, I'm reading if I have more questions. Do we need back office access for the catalog search bar, the featured results bar? It is required back office configuration for total care customers. You are welcome to open Salesforce tickets for support to help you with enabling it. Also, is there a way for total care customers to use resource recommender? Can we get a list of categories to send to total care? I'm not sure about what is the meaning of a list of categories, but I will need to check it and come with an answer. To Berry State University. Okay, if you will send me just an email afterward with your address, I'll be able to answer directly. So next, really just to tell you about a few things that we are planning to add in November. The first one is the collection discovery. Collection discovery is available also today in the classic interface. We provide, I think it was a year and a half ago, the first release of a digital collection discovery, and it's a way to present digital items, including their hierarchy, and better way to discover them. With this release, what we are doing is we are working on the digital collection for the new UI, and we actually created a totally new development. I can also say a small product for the digital collection. So, and you can see that what you're going to see here, it's a mock-up. It's really where we are heading with this feature, where we are seeing ourselves improving this feature. Not everything is going to be available in November, but I think the biggest improvement for the digital collection with the new UI is that we are going to present the items themselves, the digital items, in a specific view that fits digital. Today, with the digital collection, once users want to see the items, he's going to the same flat list of Primo result list. And with the new UI, you can see that I, for example, perform a search here, and there is a collection, an item type, which is collection. And if I'll go to the view the collection, I'll see here both the sub-collections in case it has it, but also I'll see the items in this collection already in this page, and I don't need to go back to Primo. And we are giving here a much better visualization for images, for example, or for any other digital types. So again, this is just a mock-up. We are now working on the design itself. The collection page, this is what you're seeing here is what we are planning to have in November, but with only one option of view in the first phase. Later on, we will also allow to have here display of list and grid. The facets are not going to be part of November release, but I think already in November, it's something which is really in a different level of allowing you to present in much better way your collection and data. You can see that we're also presenting what we are calling the collection lobby. This is the page where all the collections are available. And also here we already have plans for the future. Right now we're presenting always one layer beneath the collection that you are now within it. Later on we would like to display more levels in the hierarchy. So for example, in the collection lobby, we will be able to present already both sub-collection or both collection, but also items already to display in one page. So we are now working both on changing the interface, but another thing that we would like to do as part of this release is right now it's working with really tight connection with for Rosetta and for Alma Digital. So just by changing and mapping table in the back office and in your institution with it. But what we want is to present this digital collection also to customers that are not using Rosetta and Alma D, and to provide you with the API of the structure for the collection. So we are now also working on providing and externalize the API for it, so other digital asset management can also work with the same structure. So this is the first thing that we are going to have in November. I'll give you another short demo of something that is coming soon, which is the integration with Synthetic Unbound. This is relevant for a customer that has Synthetic Unbound. It's a different licensing Synthetic Unbound. So first, if you already have Synthetic, you are welcome to contact me. We can help you with customization if you are using the new interface and present it before the November release. We already have 2 customers that are now working on Synthetic Unbound and going to present it to their end user. The idea of Synthetic Unbound is that we are really can give more information about books. And here I'm in a Primo page. Clicking on the Explore option, you can see that actually all this is coming from Synthetic Unbound. So it's present in the same view of Primo, more data that is really important for the end users. We had one library that started on the implementation. They ran already usability test with Synthetic Unbound, and it looks like the users are staying much longer on the page, on the full results, when they have Synthetic Unbound, as opposed to when they don't have more suggestions of Synthetic Unbound. So in Synthetic Unbound, you have different types of services, which you have an admin console that you can select which one you would like to present to the end user. But the integration is, I think, really easy. It's going to be in November. You'll just have to add your key to the back office, and you'll be able to present more data from Synthetic. Last 2 things that I just would like to mention that is coming in November is first the database A to Z. It's another page really similar to the journal, talking about from the display side. It will look really similar to the journal A to Z, but the idea is that you can now allow your user to search for a specific database. Then it's linked to go directly to the database itself. And last is, again, coming from the ideas, push to Mendeley, voted really high over there, so coming soon. So I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. So let's see if you have more questions. Do entries in the resource recommender need to match exactly your recommended for opening hours? Will it be appear in the library opening hours? So in the first phase of the resource recommender, it is need to be exact match. Okay. Again, for 2018, we will expand it more. But right now, you should add different tags for the same query if you want to have variation for it. Okay, so this is really the first phase of it. Sorry, we can provide links, but I like them to merge. Is the DB, I'm not sure, can we choose which citations tool to display? I guess you're talking about the Harvard, the citation export, or what do you mean, sorry, with the citation tool? I didn't mention here, but you will see it in the release itself, that as part of August, we are adding more, 2 more citations styles to the citation copy-paste options, Harvard 1 and MLA 8. Sure, I will show my email. I think it's in the last slide, but I'm not sure if I have it here. Yep. So, sorry, I see another question that I missed. Is synthetic unbound just displaying the additional data, or is it also indexing it? We currently have synthetic eyes. I'm trying to understand. So it's displaying the additional data. We're not searching on this data. I have a question. Is the DB A to Z also associated the facets for disciplines? Not in the first phase. The database A to Z, we are now working with Alma to see if we can later on also display topics, but right now we're just displaying the database themselves. I think I covered those. I will wait if you have more. Here. Will those of us on Total Care get the August update the week of the 23rd, or do we need to request it? No, you're getting it. Total Care customers are going to have it on the 23rd is only for Sandbox of multi-tenant. The week afterward, July 30, it's going to be on Total Care environment. So you'll get an email updating you with this. You don't need to request it. Thank you very much. Really, any feedback, mostly about the great new features, about the search expansion and the resource recommender, we are really eager to hear your opinion and feedback. I personally really like them and think that it's really going to the users are going to benefit out of it. And as always, with any question, you are welcome to send, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.